Would you set off on a cross-country race without having your GPS or without having the destination in mind? If yes, you may end up into an adventurous journey. But at the same time, you might also end up somewhere where you never wanted to be. So goals are basically the roadmap for your own life, which makes your life basically more enjoying, more rich, and it is more satisfying also. So welcome to you all on the next video, which is on goal setting. लक्ष्य हम किस तरीके से निर्धारण करें और लक्ष्यों का चुनाव हम किस प्रकार करें, साथ ही लक्ष्यों का चुनाव करते समय हमें क्या क्या चीज़ें ध्यान में रखने की हैं, उन सभी बातों के बारे में आज हम बात करेंगे। तो आइए शुरू करते हैं। Somebody has said it very wisely about goals that if goals are not reachable, they are not worth making. Definitely, all you have to do is to set realistic goals is follow the SMART goals guideline. And what are these SMART goals guidelines? We are going to discuss in our upcoming video. A goal without a plan is just a wish. So, अगर आपके दिमाग में कोई गोल है, लक्ष्य है, लेकिन उसको पूरा करने के लिए अगर आपके पास सुनियोजित योजना नहीं है, तो डेफिनेटली आपका वो जो गोल है वह गोल ही बन करके रह जाएगा और आप उसे कभी भी अचीव नहीं कर पाएंगे। So definitely all of us need a plan which should be executed in order to achieve to that goal. You might be aware that a carpenter measures twice but just cuts once. Similarly, whenever we are starting on any journey, we have got the destination in mind and we try to find the best route possible. Similarly, whenever I am trying to plant a garden in my house, I have everything in my mind and then I start executing the same. Similarly, whenever I want to come up with any speech, then initially that speech is on a piece of paper and then later on I start delivering it. Similarly, if you want to design a cloth, then initially you have it in your own mind before you thread the needle. And therefore, in order to complete your goal or in order to achieve your goal, you definitely need a foolproof plan in order to achieve that particular target. अगर आपके पास में योजना नहीं है, तो वह आपका जो गोल है वह गोल बन करके ही रह जाएगा और आप उसे कभी प्राप्त नहीं कर पाएंगे. Now, how many types of goals may be there? There are two types of goals. Number one is a short-term goal and another one is a long-term goal. So basically, a short-term goal is something which you want to achieve in short duration of time. That may be today itself. आज शाम तक मुझे ये कार्य पूरा करना है, या आप इस हफ्ते तक कोई काम पूरा करना चाहते हैं, या अगर आप कहें कि मुझे इस महीने के अंत तक ये कार्य पूरा करना है, तो वो सब आपके शॉर्ट टर्म गोल हैं. लॉन्ग टर्म गोल विच जो दीर्घावधि आपके गोल हैं, लॉन्ग टर्म गोल इज़ दैट गोल विच टेक्स अ लॉन्ग टाइम टू अचीव, जिसको पूरा करने में आपको काफ़ी लंबा समय लगता है. बट दोज गोल्स आर ऑलवेज देयर इन योर माइंड एंड विद योर शॉर्ट टर्म गोल्स डेफिनेटली यू ट्राई टू हेड or you try to move forward to that long term goal. इसीलिए अगर मैं कहूँ कि ये जो छोटे गोल्स हैं, इनके माध्यम से आप उस अपने दीर्घावधि गोल तक पहुँचने की कोशिश करते हैं, तो मैं बिल्कुल भी गलत नहीं कह रही हूँ. Next, what is more important is having the SMART goals. Now, what do we mean by this SMART? SMART is basically an acronym where everything stands for something. So, let's talk about the first S. What does it stand for? That stands for that your goals should be always specific. आपके गोल्स हमेशा निश्चित होने चाहिए ताकि वो मेजरेबल हो, ताकि वो टेंजिबल हो, ताकि आप उनको नाप सकें कि आपने उसे प्राप्त भी किया है या नहीं किया है. Always, if you have abstract goals which cannot be looked upon by you or even by other people, we cannot have that kind of goal. So, let me come up with an example. If I say, I want to do better in chemistry. Now, better in chemistry may mean something different. It may mean 70%, for somebody it may mean 80%, for somebody it may mean even 90%. So people have different interpretations about it, and therefore you will have to be specific in your goal setting. So you will have to say, I want to increase my maths grade from 85% to 90%. Now this is something very specific, बहुत specific है. 85% की जगह मुझे 90% अर्ज करना है, और 90% अर्जित करने में बेसिकली आपको 5% के लिए और काम करना होगा. इसी तरीके से आपके गोल्स हमेशा स्पेसिफिक होने चाहिए, निश्चित होने चाहिए. Second is the letter is M, which stands for that it should be measurable. What do we mean by measurable? उसे आप नाप सकें, उसे आप टेंजिबल रूप में देख पाएं, उसके बारे में आप खुद इवैल्यूएट कर पाएं कि आप उसे अर्जित भी कर पाए हैं या नहीं कर पाए हैं. So all goals we should be in a position to evaluate them, whether I have been able to achieve them or not. Let me come up with an example. Suppose if I say, I want to run the mile better. Now again this better may have different interpretations and you are never able to measure it. So you will have to have the measurable goals. How can I convert into a measurable goal? Suppose if I say, I want to improve my mile time by 30 seconds. Now what will happen? With my previous running, I can always measure it. Have I been able to do better this time? Could I opt for, or could I gain my desired goal or not? You will be able to measure that. आप उसे देख पाएंगे कि आप उसे 30 seconds से better कर पाए या नहीं कर पाए. So second one characteristic is that your goal should be always measurable. Third one point is A, and A stands for attainable. आप इस तरीके के गोल बनाएं जिसे आप अचीव कर पाएं. मान लीजिए अगर कुछ आपने ऐसा असंभव गोल बना लिया जिसे आप अर्जित नहीं कर पा रहे, तो आपके मन में हमेशा ही निराशा रहेगी. अगर आप उसे अचीव नहीं कर पाए तो डेफिनेटली आपके अंदर बहुत सारा फ्रस्ट्रेशन भी आएगा. सो ट्राई टू सेट सच गोल्स फॉर योरसेल्फ विच आर अटेनेबल, जिसे आप अपनी कैपेबिलिटीज, अपने स्किल से अर्जित कर पाएं. Now suppose if I say, I want to become the best footballer in the world. Now what is going to happen? Probably I might strive hard to achieve my objective. I might try to do my best in order to fulfill that objective, in order to fulfill that goal. But I do not know, because other people in other countries, they might also be working hard. So it is always better to aim for attainable goals. How can I make it attainable? Suppose if I say, I'll rehabilitate my knee so that I can play football again next season. So this is something attainable. I can work on my own body. I can work on my own skill, and thereby doing that, maybe that I'll be able to achieve my goal. Let's just understand what does this R stand for. R stand for relevant. जो भी आप गोल बना रहे हैं वो आपके लिए सारगर्भित भी होना चाहिए और आपके लिए उपयोगी भी होना चाहिए. अगर वो उपयोगी ना हुआ तो क्या होगा? आप उसे अर्जित कर पाने की जो इच्छा, अदम्य इच्छा आप में है, आप उसे नहीं रख पाएंगे और शायद उस गोल को प्राप्त करने की कड़ी में ही आप कहीं ना कहीं उसे बिल्कुल विस्मृत कर देंगे. सो ऑलवेज रिमेंबर, try to make goals which are important to you and which are relevant to you. So suppose if there is a teacher and he happens to say that my goal is to discover a futuristic project in engineering. This is probably not a relevant goal for the teacher, because the teacher's prime objective is to educate children. And therefore, if the teacher happens to say, my goal is to inspire at least one student to find out a cure for cancer. So definitely this is more relevant for a teacher. हमेशा आपको कोशिश करनी होगी कि जो आप अपने लक्ष्य बनाएं वे प्रासंगिक हों और आपके लिए उपयोगी हों, तभी आप उसमें जुटे रह सकते हैं. Fifth and the last point is that it should be time bound. Definitely there should be some time limit, and you should be setting that yes, I'll be able to achieve my goal, my target within such a stipulated span of time. Right? So suppose if I say my goal is to be able to run a half marathon, okay, but then what is the time limit for it? You do not know. And in case you do not have the time limit, maybe that your entire life you will be trying for it, you yourself are not aware about the time, and therefore it might end up getting somewhere where it doesn't give you any reward or any result. But suppose if you say my goal is to complete my lab file before evening, right? So evening is the deadline which is there in your mind and you will be able to achieve it. जब तक आपके लक्ष्य का कोई समय निर्धारित नहीं है, तब तक आप उसे हमेशा टालते जाएंगे और उसे अचीव नहीं कर पाएंगे. Therefore, the key is to set deadlines, right? You will have to have deadlines that okay, maybe by today, by tomorrow, by next day, I'll be able to achieve it. So your goals should always be time bound. Now let's understand steps to set goals. हमने पढ़ा कि गोल्स हमारे लिए बहुत महत्वपूर्ण हैं, लेकिन उन्हें तय करें तो किस प्रकार तय करें. नंबर 1 इज आइडेंटिफाई गोल्स. सबसे पहले पहचानिए कि आपके उद्देश्य क्या हैं और आपके उद्देश्य आपके लिए महत्वपूर्ण क्यों हैं. Because unless I am able to identify, unless I am able to define my goals, till then I'll not be able to work towards achieving them. Therefore, it is very important to identify your goals. Second one is list obstacles. Because whenever I set my goals, I also know that these may be the hurdles which I may face. जब भी आप कोई लक्ष्य बनाते हैं तो आपको यह भी पता होता है कि मेरे सामने ये बाधा आ सकती है. आप उस बाधा का निराकरण कैसे कर पाएंगे, ये भी आपको खुद को सोचना है. Third point is develop a plan. Because without plan, simply a goal is a far-fetched dream which might never be getting executed, which might never turn into a reality. Therefore, have a proper plan, have the proper steps that yes, these are my steps, and by following all these steps, I'll be able to achieve my goal. Fourth is list skills. So what are the skills? आपके पास ऐसी कौन सी skills हैं जो आपको उस goal को achieve करने में मदद करेंगी? आपको उन skills को भी ध्यान में रखना होगा. Identify people who have had a similar goal. So whenever you are reading an autobiography, or maybe that whenever you are interacting with that person, maybe that whenever you are listening to his anecdotes, his life is going to be an inspiration for you. कोशिश कीजिए कि ऐसे लोगों के संपर्क में रहें. कोशिश कीजिए कि आप उनकी बातों को सुनें और जिस तरीके से उन्होंने अपने लक्ष्य की प्राप्ति की, उसी प्रकार आप भी कोशिश कर सकते हैं कि आप अपने लक्ष्य को प्राप्त करें. List benefits also. Try to write down the benefits which you are going to get after achieving that goal somewhere on a piece of paper, because that piece of paper is going to serve as a reminder for you. आपको वो हमेशा अपने गोल को प्राप्त करने के लिए याद दिलाएगा और इसीलिए हमें कोशिश करनी चाहिए कि कहीं ना कहीं किसी पेपर पर हम उसके बेनिफिट्स को नोट कर पाएं. Next, let's talk about final tips. So what are the final tips for this goal setting? Number 1, write down your goals and look at them often. कहीं ना कहीं लिख लीजिए. आपकी स्टडी टेबल पे आप उसे लगा सकते हैं. अगर आपने अपनी डाइट या वेट कंट्रोल के लिए कोई गोल बनाया है तो आप उसे रेफ्रिजरेटर पर चिपका सकते हैं या किचन में भी लगा सकते हैं. लेकिन अगर आप उस गोल को लिख करके और उसे कहीं ना कहीं ऐसी जगह लगा पाएँ जहां आप उसे बार बार देख पाएंगे, तो आप डेफिनेटली उस गोल को अचीव करने के लिए अग्रसर होंगे. If you achieved your goals too easily, make sure that your next goals are harder. कई बार हम हमारे goals को प्राप्त करने के लिए इतने आसान goals बना देते हैं और बाद में कठिन लक्ष्य के लिए तैयारी नहीं करते. Always remember that we should even try to achieve all those difficult goals and all those goals which are not easy to achieve, right? Because that requires a lot of resilience, that requires a lot of perseverance on our part, that also requires diligence. So always remember, try to achieve them. Failure to meet goal only matters if you don't learn something from your mistake. How many times you might have observed that you have been trying to achieve a goal but it is not resulting into success. No harm with that. Try to learn whatever you have been able to learn from your failure, because again, failure is a stepping stone to success. Please remember, goal setting is an important method of deciding what is important for you to achieve. आपके लिए क्या महत्वपूर्ण है जीवन में अचीव करना, गोल सेटिंग से आप जान पाते हैं. कई बार हम जब गोल्स को सेट करने के लिए बैठते हैं तो हमें लगता है कि हम हमारे पूरे जीवन काल में शायद उन लक्ष्यों की प्राप्ति के लिए यत्नशील थे जो कि शायद हमारे लिए महत्वपूर्ण ही नहीं हैं. तो अगर आपने कहीं ना कहीं उन्हें लिखा है तो यू कैन इवैल्यूएट इट बेटर वेदर दे आर रियली वर्दी वंस और नॉट. Second one, it will always keep you motivated because you will always have some objective in your life. You always have some goal that yes, I am able to achieve it. I should be in a position to achieve it. I'll have to work hard. I'll try to put my 100% so that I am able to achieve that particular goal. And undoubtedly, it helps in building your self-confidence. If I have been able to achieve one particular goal, I can say that yes, I'm confident enough. I have put in a lot of hard work and therefore I have got success in it, and definitely then you can go for your next goal, then you can keep achieving it, and then you can go for even long-term goals. Right? So with this note, we call it a day, and thank you so much for watching this. Happy goal setting to all of you.